Ladies and gents, welcome back to Selfscape. My name is Hadassah, and Selfscape is my version of an audio diary, basically a collection of my thoughts. In this episode, I will attempt to fit the past week of my life into 20 minutes. Honestly, I don't know how possible it is, and then again, it can't be possible. Please indulge me. Firstly, I want to say thank you to everybody before I even start any conversation or just share anything. I really want to say thank you. I want to express my gratitude to everyone that has listened, shared, liked, left a review, reached out to me about the podcast. Thank you so much. I was worried when I made this podcast. I knew I wanted to talk and just really hear myself, but I was worried that people would not want to hear me, and I was wrong, because a lot of the feedback that I got was that this was something very soothing, very nice, very much needed. So thank you so much to everyone. I'm actually very grateful that you like my podcast. Thank you. We already have 10 followers. So 10 amazing people are following this podcast on Spotify. Wow. I feel like a superstar. If I could, I would cash it in the bank. I would actually cash it in the bank, but I can't. So, but at the same time, the shoulder pad is still high, because 10 people, imagine gathering 10 people in a room. That's a crowd. That's a whole crowd. So thank you guys so much. I'm flawed. So I'm not flawed like FLAWED. I'm flawed like FLOORED. Like, thank you. Flawed that kind of flawed. What I want to say, I lost my train of thought a bit. What I was trying to explain, what I was saying. But if this is your first time listening to the podcast, you're in for a ride. I would advise that you listen to episode 1, because that was where I really addressed what the podcast is about and my reason for starting a new podcast or another podcast. So episode 2, 3, 4, from here on, we're just having conversations. So I would suggest you listen to the first episode. It's pretty relatable. I shared something interesting. You get the gist, basically. So backstory, I pushed back my youth service 2 years in a row. I pushed it back because I was posted to places I didn't want to visit. It's my choice now. If I want to visit those places, I would decide, why are you sending me there? So I told them that I'm not going to. You push, keep doing what you're doing. And then last year, I got posted to a place I felt, well, it seems I can, even though I wasn't thrilled, but it's like, at least it's not those other places. I went to camp, and I had a very good experience in camp, meeting people, having conversations with people. See, I don't talk much, but I talked a lot. I really talked a lot. I wanted to talk a lot. I wanted to actually meet people. So I was walking up to people and having conversations with them. That's something I will never do again. But it's something I did then. And it was fun meeting people and just getting to know how people think. Because for the longest time, I was in my own shell, my own bubble. I had my friends. I know my friends. I know how they think. So I wasn't exposed to different mindsets. And camp did that for me. I saw things, and I listened to things, and I was like, wow. It was eye-opening. That's what I would say. It was very eye-opening, very shocking in general. Like, it was like culture shock. Learning those things was really shocking for me. And I think it just helped me see that life is not about me. Life is more than Hadassah. So I think that was something I needed at that time, and it was very good for me. But when I tell you people that I will not do it again, see, I had a good time, but at the same time, I wanted to go back home. Life was hard. Life was really hard, and I don't want to experience hardship. So I will not. Best believe I will not be doing it again. I had to take care of myself. I had to fend for myself. It's not like I've not been fending for myself. I have, but the reality that one day I would have to leave my parents' house and actually fend for myself completely wasn't something I was ready for. I currently work, so obviously I pay my bills and the whole 9 years, but I don't pay rent, and I have not paid rent in my entire life. I'm not ready to start paying rent. So that just what's it called now? It was a reminder of my responsibilities as an adult. And so camp was great, right? Camp was good. Then I decided that I didn't want to stay there. I wanted to come back to Lagos State, but I was unable to relocate. A lot of things had happened. So it was on my third try that I actually was able to relocate to Lagos. And why does everybody call you Copper? When I was in camp, yes, they were calling me Copper, but it didn't, I don't know, it didn't do anything to me until I got back to Lagos. I started wearing my khaki around Lagos, and every turn, Copper, Copper, Copper. And I said, what is it now? Copper, come and enter my bike. Copper, enter this bus. Copper, don't enter that bus. Copper this, Copper that. It was crazy to me. Because in my head, I'm like, if I'm that important and that special, why are you collecting money from me? Why can't I just be entering your buses and your bikes for free? Copper here, copper that, copper this, copper there. And I was paying for everything. Nothing was for free. This one is even worse. Copper, come and give me money. From where to? Yeah, how much is my allowing now? And then one of them was even like, hey, should be yeah, government property. Government is paying you money now. Should be yeah, the one eating Nigeria's money. Please, how much is the Nigerian money that I'm eating? God, I beg. So I should not come and give you the money. Even if I'm actually eating Nigerian money, I should not take the speak. I should give it to you. It was hilarious to me. It was, see, I found it so fascinating and annoying at the same time. Like, So because I'm wearing khaki, you think I'm rich. I'm rich, but I'm not rich like that yet. I'll be now. I don't know why that is, but I feel like a lot of coppers, so to speak. I heard there is no word like copper. Copper does not exist. It doesn't have a meaning. It's not a word. It's not an English word. It's an incorrect word. I don't know how true that is, but I will check. But I think so. I think we're the ones that coined name, which is why it should be in the dictionary in the first place, because we coined the name and it's kind of exclusive to Nigerians. I don't think any other country has this mandatory 1 year, and even if they do, they don't call it Nigerian Youth Service Corps. They definitely will not call it copper. So I think that's something that we should adapt into our dictionary or into our lingo. I mean, it is already a part of our lingo, but people say it's not a word, it's not an English word, which I think that's so wrong. I think it should be adapted. Oju Elegba smells. I know, I just needed to say that. Lagos is a smelly place. I don't live in Lagos, thank God for that. Oju Elegba stinks. My God, how do I explain it? Oju Elegba stinks. As far as I'm concerned, that place needs to be sanitized. And people sell food there. How do you sell food and people eat? How? Are they used to the smell? Are they so desensitized to the bad and foul odor that they just think it's normal and it's okay? Because it's not okay. It's no. I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. Like, I made my legs work faster because I needed to just body bust and get out of that place. It stinks, it smells, it needs to be sanitized, it needs to be clean. In fact, the entire Lagos there's some places in Lagos, yeah, they smell nice. There are some places on the mainland that you would not survive. You would actually not survive it. So Oju Elegba actually smells, Lagos smells, and I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to say it. Guys, my khaki tour. I'm still on my NYC Chronicles. I have so much to say. My khaki tour, when I was coming back from the secretariat after I did my documentation. I mean, they gave me tight khaki. So what they gave me in camp was the left leg is tight and the right leg is loose. So one leg is tight, one leg is loose. And then, went for my documentation on my way back. You would think that is the leg that was tight that would actually tear, but it's the leg that was loose at all. Make it make sense. The material wasn't properly sewn. They just did nonsense. I feel really the government actually made a budget for khakis, but the people in charge of khakis just decided to do substandard stuff. Because how are you giving out khakis that are already from your first wear, the threads are already coming out, is loose? It doesn't make sense. The cap, let me know if you talk about the cap, because it faded on the first wash. The boot is losing color, shedding color. In fact, the entire khaki feed, the entire NYC feed is just very substandard, and it doesn't make sense to me why. You would think they would make it a thing of pride and joy, and they would actually put in efforts to give you something durable, seeing as you would have to wear it for 1 year and they give you only one pair. You would think they would actually do something durable, right? But they don't. And that means I have to spend money to get something durable. Why do I have to spend money to serve my government? Why do I have to spend money to get better khaki? Let me not get upset. I was trying to get upset. Do you know how much I spent just going to camp and living in camp for 21 days? I stayed the entire 21 days. Huh. My own is that they should do better. They're not doing better. They're not doing a good job at the khakis. They need to change their game. Like, they need to make better khakis that would actually last longer and would not tear on your first wear. So that's my own opinion for NYC, and that kind of concludes my NYC chronicles and my beef with NYC, because I have beef with them. I didn't want to do this, but I did not have a choice. So I had a choice, but I just wanted to respect my parents' decisions, and this was one decision that I just felt, let me just indulge them. I mean, they did pay my school fees, so I want my dad to be very pleased. I want to make him happy, and this is something he wants for me, so let me just do it. He's pretty excited. He's excited, he's happy. You see the excitement and the joy all over his face. I think he's reliving his own NYC days. I think so. So I just think that's what he's doing. Like, he likes it. So that's it for my NYC Chronicles, guys. That's the update. I'm currently serving, and guess what? I'm serving from the comfort of my home. The comfort of my home. I'm serving in a company that does remote work. They work remotely, so I don't have to come into the office. I don't have any physical hours, none of those things. I only have to leave my house for CDS. Period. And to be very honest, I'm very relieved. I'm so relieved. You have no idea how much of a relief that is. Lagos traffic, Lagos stress, Lagos wahala, transport money. It's a relief that I don't have to go through all of that and start to negotiate for work hours. Oh, let me come on Tuesday. Oh, let me not come on Wednesday. Oh, give me 2 days out of 5 days. None of those things is fully remote. So that's a thing to celebrate, and you should be happy for me and help me give God thanks, because God did all of this for me. I just thought to share it, and now I'm trying to find a way to share other things that I think about. For example, a book I recently read. I'm in a book club, and I finished reading a book. We finished our book for January book of the month, and my God, I wish I never opened up that book. I was so excited from the epilogue. I was like, oh my God, this book sounds so beautiful. The epilogue was really intriguing and really exciting, drew me in. And then I started to read the book, and my first thoughts were, what is going on? So much chaos. 17 chapters in, and there was just chaos from chapter 1 to chapter 17. This book was chaotic from the beginning to the very end. There was no peace, there was no joy, just chaos. Why? In fact, 17 chapters in, and I just knew that the book would not end well. I was expecting it not to end well because the chaos was too much. So the book was basically about a widow who had lost so much to religious crisis. It was set in northern Nigeria, in Jos and also in Abuja. I love African literature so much. Though I basically read African literature. I don't read any other genre because that's just what I love. But this particular genre, this particular book, this writer, I need to have a conversation with this writer. Like, why did you write this book? What were you going through at that time? What was your thought process? Because, you know what? Read the book so that you feel the same pain that I feel. The book's name is Season of Crimson Blossoms by Abubakar Adam Ibrahim. This book is a reminder that some books should not be written. Basically, in my own opinion, some books should not be written. They should never see the light of day. They should just be in your head or in your diary, but don't ever write about them. Because why? What was the reason? I think the positive thing about the book is they highlighted mental health issues and how Africans in general deal with mental health, and how we really underestimate it. We really don't pay attention to it, and we classify it as witchcraft, which should not be so. Mental health should be addressed properly, and he just really pointed it out. There was only one person in that, or two people, that were able to identify that, oh, this person had mental health issues. Everybody else just assumed, oh, this person's possessed, this person is this, that. So grief really it attributes to a lot of mental health cases. Grief, pain, bad and terrible experiences, trauma in general. Trauma attributes to, I think it can be attributed to a lot of mental health issues, and they portrayed that in the book. I think that, and kind of highlighted, the author portrayed it and highlighted how mental health conversations should really be a thing in our current society. So maybe that's one thing I would take away from the book. But every other thing, no, that book, no, should not exist. I'm sorry. I know I don't write books, and I know that what's it called? I'm not an author, but I'm a consumer. And as far as I'm concerned, you're writing a book so I can consume it. And if I'm consuming your book and it's not giving, a lot of people in the book club actually agreed. They didn't like it. It was just a lot. So that's everything I have for you this week. I hope that I've been able to fit 20 minutes, my entire past week, into 20 minutes. I'm not sure that I was able to do 20 minutes. I think I did more than. We'll find out at the end when I'm done editing. But thank you so much. I really hope that you like episode 2. I hope it doesn't bore you. I hope that you can pick a thing or two. You see, I'm trying to rhyme from this episode, and that you join me in the next one. Have a wonderful week, ladies and gents, and happy Wednesday. Bye, y'all.